This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Dead Letter. It was written by Adam Scott Glancy, and it can be found in Delta Green Countdown. It's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our handler is Robert Bocchiere, and this is episode 1. But before we begin, and I'll only mention this on the first episode of the new scenario, we are currently producing 4 different scenarios a week for your entertainment. We don't monetize our videos with YouTube, but we do need your support. Our production and maintenance costs keep going up. If you would like to help, we have a Patreon link here and in the description. Or you can show us your appreciation using the thanks button just below the screen. Our deepest gratitude for all of your help in keeping us going and helping us improve our show. That being said, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Robert?
Thank you, Thom. All right, so let's get right into it. It is currently September 5th, Saturday, 1998, when you all receive your usual messages from Delta Green activating you for a new mission. It is the middle of the long Labor Day weekend. So as a short introduction, why doesn't everybody just introduce their characters and tell us what plans Delta Green ruined for you by calling you in for this mission?
Well, I'm a scientist. I don't know why they called me in, but I'm apparently going by the name, something I chose for myself, Agent Molarity, which has to do with the hardness of a substance. I'm an expert in physics and in chemistry, and I hope I can be of some use to the team. There's a bunch of other people here, but none of them seem to want to talk.
Don't be shy.
I'm Agent Mars, and I was out by the pool with the barbecue grill going on and all the family and friends over when I got the call to come in. I'm with Department of Justice, Office of Inspector General.
I'm Agent Midnight. I was probably going to head out on the boat, go fishing. Got the call. Told my girlfriend I, made up some lame excuse like I always do. I'm going to take another prisoner or something across, the country. I'll be gone for a while. Grab my usual gear and head out.
I'm Agent Mailman. I was currently at my mother-in-law's house for the Labor Day weekend when I got this notification. So this is yet another thing that she's going to hold over my head. So thanks for that. I work special weapons and tactics for the FBI. Just dealing with cases that need a more physical touch when people aren't going quietly, or we know someone's going to be aggressive beforehand. And I'm ready to get this done.
Well,
I'm already getting text messages.
You all sound like you got really active and interesting lives. I just sit in my lab all day long. Wow.
All right. Well, you guys tell your families your various stories and take off because Delta Green tells you that they need you in Berkeley, California, the following day on Sunday, so you're able to book your quick flights, maybe drive if you're close. But they tell you that you need to be meeting Agent Drake at the University District Post Office in Berkeley, California. He's gonna be waiting there for you at just at noon sharp.
Berkeley. I've only been here a couple of times. It's really a focus point for people who are into computer programming and stuff like that at Berkeley. There's more homeless people than there are anywhere else, I think, in the whole world, and a whole park full of them, like a city over on Temple Street, right down from the university.
Yep, and you're going to be right near the university. When you arrive at the post office, everybody rolls up into the back, and the one of the big roll-up doors where they load the trucks rolls up, and a gentleman in a waves all of you in. He says, "Everybody, thank you for coming on such short notice. You can please step right inside. We have some things to show you."
All right. Let's see what we got.
So Agent Drake walks everybody back through the sorting room and everything. Place seems to be deserted, closed down for the day, and he leads you into just a small side room, maybe like a smaller break room or something. There's a refrigerator in one corner, and once everybody's in, he closes the door behind you, and he says, "So early yesterday, we received a notice about a suspicious package that had come into the sorting center. One of the workers noticed that it was leaking a oily fluid, and there was a concern that it could be an explosive. Bomb squad was called in to take a look at it, and dogs went nuts, but they did not alight on it, indicating an explosive device. So we ran it through an X-ray, and we saw what looked like an animal's head. So my partner and I checked it out. I'm with the Postal Inspector Service, so it's sort of my forte. And probably would be better to just show you." He steps over to the freezer, opens it up, and inside there's a cardboard box, yay big, bigger than a shoebox, but not by too much. It's open now. You can see the plastic garbage bagging coming out of it, and he sets it down on the table in front of you all, and inside of it is the severed head of a German Shepherd.
Oh my.
It looks like it was probably cut off or something at the stump. It also looks like it's been shot several times.
Oh my.
There's a bullet hole right through one eye, one pulling part of its skull open, so you can see the brain matter, and it looks like one hit it right in the jaw. Part of its mouth is hanging off of that hinge there, and as Agent Drake puts the box down, kind of unfolds the flaps, you see the eye of what should be a very, very dead dog roll to look at you all, and it starts to kind of flop feebly. Can't really move much. There's not really many parts of it left that it can move, but you can see the tongue kind of flapping and the one side of the jaw kind of feebly working itself. So let's just get right in there with a sanity check for me.
Oh my goodness.
What?
That's one way to start.
Yeah, hopefully I can get rid of all these 97s really quickly.
I'm out of the way right now.
Oh, I've already failed my sanity.
There you go.
I passed.
All right. Get my dice roller open. It is going to be just one on a fail, or rather one on a success and a D4 on a fail. You guys can roll your own sanity damage because I always roll terribly low. That's no fun.
Well,
I have lost 4 points.
oh wow.
3.
Getting right in there. Do any of you want to project any of that on your bonds?
Not at the moment, but I'm obliged to roll an extra sanity roll, and I have not passed out or lost my memory of what just happened.
Okay, that's probably
This is fucked up.
My God, and is still alive?
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
mean-
step back. I'm like, what the hell is this? Is it
I mean,
alive?
it's certainly moving.
The hell? This is not right.
Well, I mean, it's I'm not a biologist, but something's keeping it going. Is there any residue? What was leaking out? Was it just part of the dog, or was it some sort of juice? Or
Kind of takes just like a pen out of one of his pockets and kind of like pulls a little bit of the skin back, and he says, "It looks like there's some kind of chemical or fluid seeped into it." And you can see from the stump as well as the brain matter and everything, there's a kind of bluish tinge to the flesh, to the organs and things like that. It's a bright, almost fluorescent blue, kind of like Windexy looking, but it seems to be suffusing the flesh of the dog.
some sort of
He says, "Yeah,
substance here.
we were able to we dismissed the bomb squad, and my partner and I checked this out. Wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else in it. Obviously, mailing dog heads is not legal, so we were going to pursue that at the very least." When he opened up the box, he didn't expect it to latch onto his hand. But he was the one who shot it. So I think it only actually let go of him because he shattered the jaw with one of them.
But he's been bitten by this thing, and if this is some sort of a bacterial infection, it could potentially. Do we have? I'm going to assume I have things I can take samples.
Yeah, of course. I'm assuming,
I'm
you
going to
probably got
take
your
some
bag
samples.
of things.
Samples
says,
of juice, samples of flesh.
But yeah, he says I am keeping an eye on him. This was yesterday this happened, so I checked on him this morning, which should be about 12 hours later. He did not notice any symptoms.
Shouldn't he be quarantined or something?
He's at home nursing a mangled hand, doped up on painkillers. I'm keeping an eye on him myself, but I've not seen anything that anything different than you would expect from having your hand damn near bitten off.
I'm gonna let the nerd look at the freaky head, but where's the box that it was sent in?
Yeah.
He says, "This is it. This is it right here." He says,
give that a good once over.
Okay, I personally think that we need to move this to a lab somewhere. We can't do this in the back of the mail shop. What's it? Mail post office.
The post office, the distribution center. He says, "Yeah, it would probably be best if you took it out of here." He says, "Whatever resources of your own you can use. We have a contact as well at UCLA. She could let you into the labs, Dr. Nadia Falani. You can contact her."
UCLA.
Yeah.
That's.
You don't have anybody in
here.
Berkeley?
Yeah. I have to go all the way down to Los Angeles.
Right, so if you have something closer, feel free. But that's what I've got for you.
Well,
what is our objective here? We've got plenty of agents. What do you want us to do?
He says, "Well, we want you to figure out where this thing came from, what exactly they're doing, and what we need to do to stop it." He says they've got something going on here. He pulls out a slip of paper. He says this was in the box as well, and he hands it to Agent Molarity.
Okay, let's see here. As a note for dear Ms. Lin Wei, this abomination was the result of experiments conducted at the Amalgamated Biocarb Inc. Chemical production facility on the Blackfoot Indian Reservation, just north of Browning, Montana. From past experience, I know you can be trusted to do everything in your power to explore this obscene perversion of science and nature. My position here is precarious, so I must move cautiously. I will contact you soon. Well, I seem to have solved the question of where it came from. Browning, Montana, Blackfoot Indian Reservation. There, our job's done. We can get the hell rid of this thing and go home.
I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it's that simple, Doc.
We definitely want you to check into this Miss Linway, see what she knows about this. She didn't receive her package, obviously, but we don't know to what degree they've been corresponding before this, so we need to make sure that this information isn't spreading any farther than it already has.
Do we know where this package was being sent?
121 Laurel, Berkeley, California.
Where do you want to take this? We go to Berkeley, or we?
Yeah,
Well,
let's talk to this doctor. Let's, I wouldn't mention the head, but we do have a name, this Thom and Iron shirt. Let's play this as cool as we can, see what information we can get, see what she knows about what's going on in Blackfoot, because it sounds like this has happened before.
I could see if some of my personal colleagues or connections can get us a lab here at Berkeley, so we don't have to go all the way to LA.
Yeah, see if your colleagues know of this amalgamated biocarb. What is this
Sure, we can
place?
look that up.
Yeah, what's our year? 90?
1998.
1998.
Okay.
All right,
Rudimentary internets.
right.
Is that possible? Contact Berkeley University and see if they can lend us a lab.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a UCLA Berkeley, isn't there? I think that's supposed to be in town.
I don't
Actually,
know.
I think you're right. I think there
UCLA
is.
is Los Angeles, but okay. All right. So if it is in town, then
Yeah, there's a University of California, Berkeley. That's where they were talking about.
oh, I see. They didn't mean to put on the LA part. UC Berkeley. All right. Yeah, let's move this over to the lab. Let's put it back in the plastic bag just in case it's toxic.
Did anybody want to do any initial observations here at the post office?
Yeah, I mean, do our normal. Well, I kind of wanted to just do a good look at the box itself, and I don't know if I'm going to get anything out of it, but
Yeah, you can definitely give the box a once over, but there doesn't seem to be anything extra in there. There's the black garbage bag that it was wrapped in. There's several cold packs that look like they were stuffed in the bag with the head. That's pretty much it, though. Nothing exciting.
No, I see that there was a clerk that accepted this package to the post office with the initials BR. Are they still around?
That would have been the clerk in Montana from when the package was
Okay, I'm
received.
sorry. Reading the wrong side of the label. My apologies.
What on earth is an ecotopian? I don't know what that is. Fiona Lin Way, care of the ecotopian.
does it look like the bag was it was leaking the fluid? That's what triggered it. Is the box damaged? Was it cut into?
Well, it's been opened now, but no, it
Right.
looked like the liquid was just saturating into the box. It's just a cardboard box.
but the head was wrapped in plastic.
Hmm.
What did you do to clean up? I mean, did you make sure that you didn't?
Yeah.
Uh, could we weigh the contents very quickly?
Well, there's lots of scales here.
Sure. Does it actually? It actually says it said it came up 6 pounds 12 ounces.
I just want to make sure that
of course.
it's still 6 pounds 12 ounces.
Yeah, it is.
That's.
Maybe
I
slightly
mean,
less. Maybe a chunk was blown off by the gunfire. But yeah, it is still relatively similar.
we have to address the obvious bizarre fact that the dog's head still seems to be responding. Some sort of
So much as it can, anyway. Yeah.
THP chemical or something that's causing the muscles to twitch. I mean, we don't have any way of knowing whether it's actually alive or whether it's just, frogs will continue to kick if you apply an electrical charge to their
Well,
legs out long after they're
move your hand around in front of its eyes. Is it following it? Is it
I
kind
don't
of
know.
looking towards?
Yeah, if you do, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, if you do a little thing like this, you can see its eye following your hand.
Does it react to light when
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reacts as you would expect it to.
Goddamn abomination is all purposes alive.
Well, I mean, we still don't know that for sure. We need to do tests, but it could just still be
Zombie dog.
autonomic nerve response, or
Yeah.
maybe they were working on some sort of elixir of life that keeps things alive after they're dead, some sort of reanimation liquid.
Yeah, we'll look up this company and see what at least their cover story is.
And they're probably going to be hush hush. Let's get this on the move. The sooner we test it, the sooner we know.
Where are we headed? You got a lab?
I guess the UC Berkeley is where we're heading.
Yeah.
Should we
What was the
If you-
woman's name? Laura?
It was Dr. Nadia Filani.
Dr. Nadia Filani.
Yeah, you've got her phone number. If you give her a call, though, she will let you know that she can't let you into the labs until tonight when people are not there. She will let you.
well, that gives us time to go with Fiona.
Yeah, there are people there during the day, so you guys got to the post office around noon. She says she can let you in after 8 p.m. anytime between like 8 p.m. and 4 a.m.
Well,
Lab is not
yeah.
being used.
That gives us enough time to set up a kind of a headquarters, right? And set it up in a Ramada Inn or something.
Yeah.
If this we're gonna at least temporarily base ourselves. And we got to bring the dog with us, I guess. We'll put him in the hotel refrigerator. He's
Is there a green box? Can we stash it someplace for?
Well, I think we want it refrigerated, and I doubt
We definitely want it refrigerated. Well, I guess, do we want it refrigerated? I don't know. It doesn't seem to affect it any.
We can stop by Kmart and get us a cooler and a lot of ice.
That's actually probably a good idea, because ice will usually keep it at a good temperature.
It was packed with cold packs. So
yeah, we got some cold packs. Gross.
Okay. So I really want to talk to this Dr. Linway. See what I guess while we're waiting to see what information we can pull out.
Tell her we found her lost dog.
Before we roll up on Fiona, is there any way I could do some basic research on this ecotopian business?
Yeah, if you guys want to pack the head up and roll out, maybe you guys get a hotel someplace that has a business center, I think they call them, where you could find a computer or something to use. Yeah, I mean, you can literally just bring that up. They've got their own website and everything.
Yeah.
It is the Ecotopian is a environmental activism magazine. They release bi-monthly issues, and the website says it was founded back in 1992. It's a more niche subject, but it's apparently got newsstands in major metropolitan areas all around the country.
Okay.
So you could literally just go to a newsstand in town and get the latest issue of it if you wanted to.
Okay.
Um,
Does anything pop up if I add Fiona Linway in my search with Ecotopian?
yeah, she is the editor.
She's the editor. Okay.
Um, it seems like it is a fairly, they have somewhat radical associations. While you're looking them up on the internet, there are several stories of people related to the magazine having criminal charges against them, trespassing and criminal mischief, things like that, harassing people of corporations and laboratories and people performing animal experimentation and working with toxic chemicals and things like that.
Could I check the FBI database for what information they have? Like, or see if they have anything on them? Like, if they've got on the federal radar yet? Because usually those eco-terrorists end up there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have actual access to the FBI database. So they definitely, a lot of the members of the staff are members of other groups as well. Earth First and PETA, the ALF, a group called Gradual Human Extinction, which just is apparently a group that just thinks that humans should stop reproducing just entirely. Um, if you look up Fiona specifically, she's been arrested several times on misdemeanor battery charges, as well as she was actually expelled from UC Berkeley's journalism school. She was convicted in 92 for burglary, grand theft, and felony in some of their research laboratories. They broke out and stole several primates and transfer them to ALF members to liberate them.
Oh, that's a horrible, horrible idea.
So I'll just relay that to the rest of the group. Like, hey, yeah, this Fiona, she has quite the history. She's even got the attention of the FBI. Arrested for battery, burglary, grand theft, stealing monkeys and shit. She's one of them.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's bad. They don't
So
realize that some of
sending
those
this
monkeys
head,
are.
there,
I mean,
this. Oh, go ahead. Tom.
I was just to say, didn't they watch that movie? What was it called? The Planet of the Apes? I want to go letting monkeys go that have diseases.
So as Thomas Ironshirt got a hold of something being worked on, experimented on at this Biocarb Inc.
Yeah, it sounds like
and sending it to this journalist for publication, I guess, an expose.
And what about this Tom Ironshirt? Do I see any information on that?
Not in the FBI database, no.
I was figuring that. What about the Blackfoot Reservation?
Um, you could definitely find information about that. I'm sure there's some people from there in the FBI database. It's a Native American reservation up in Montana. Um, nothing, nothing especially specific about it in the FBI database.
Okay.
Other than the blue sort of tinge to the moisture parts of the dog, does the dog's head look more relatively normal?
Yeah, it does. Let's make some rolls. I can tell you some more stuff about it then.
Um,
Let's see.
yeah,
You've got chemistry. That'd be right on there. Why don't you make a chemistry roll for me?
yeah, 28. That's easily a pass.
Easy.
Regular pass.
Okay.
Um, I'm kind of curious if it's not too messed up, does it respond to like a little scratch? you know, or me calling it puppy.
Yeah, it definitely moves to your touch, and you can see its ears, twitch at noises and things like that. Um, it it responds whole, other than the fact that it is blown mostly to pieces, it responds fairly logically to any
Yeah.
stimulus you give it, as if it were a whole living dog.
I don't think it's particularly feeling any pain, but
Doesn't seem like it.
it's definitely responding as if it's still part of the other animal. I think we should give it a name. Puppy.
So Frankenstein head's all yours, Doc. You can call it what you want.
Puppy Frank, Puppy Frank, Frank the puppy, Frank the dog.
Frank the dog.
Frank. Yeah. Frankie. Yeah, Frank. That works. All right. So are we there? Are we at our hotel room?
Yeah, presumably you guys have gotten to the hotel at this point.
So I'm gonna put
Agent Mars was looking up the some of the stuff, and Agent Mailman was looking at the FBI database. Some of you said you wanted to look into the amalgamated biocarb as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little time before this evening to do some more research.
Are they in the FBI database? Or not? Are we just in the federal database at all? Because I think it's two I can access.
I'm gonna do some basic lab tests with my portable kit.
Right. Okay. Anybody who wanted to research ABC, you can give me computer use roles if you're looking things up on the internet, or just no library in Delta Green, right? What is it? Just intelligence? Yeah, either computer science, or you can just roll your intelligence as well.
I will roll intelligence. Ooh, that is a fail. I'm not looking at what I'm supposed to.
I got a pass.
One pass. Anybody else?
I got a pass. Yes.
All right, so that's two. So we can give you some stuff there.
Amalgamated Biocarb Incorporated is an aggressive biotechnology research and production firm, publicly traded on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange under the symbol AMAL. They seek to patent new drugs and chemicals which have applications to human and to a lesser degree animal medical needs. They also subcontract their chemical and pharmaceutical production facilities, producing orders for customers around the world. But the long-term corporate goal is to turn their own production facilities to the production of patented drugs that ABC produces. ABC currently has 23 drug patents pending. They are particularly interested in drugs that affect the central nervous system, antipsychotics, anti-seizure medication, etc. Their first commercial product currently undergoing FDA review is a drug used to revive long-term coma patients. ABC has also been seeking artificial neurotransmitters, which could be used to bridge the gap in several nerve. Hey, Doc, where is that? Is that ganglia?
Ganglia, that's correct. Yeah.
Such as a neurotransmitter would effectively end such a neurotransmitter would effectively end the suffering of millions of people suffering from various forms of nerve damage and paralysis. Their stock was issued in 1995 at $5 a share and has been as high as $57 at present. Is hovering in the low 20s. Analysts who follow the volatile field of cutting-edge biotech stocks predict that if ABC's coma drug is approved, they'll hit the 12-month high of 128, with a 3-year possibility of 260. With 1 million shares in play, their current market capitalization is about 23 million.
Oh.
So this is a fairly new company, but they're not small. This is a pretty cutting edge firm.
Well, we can see that at least something that they're doing is working. It's
Yeah,
time to go out and buy some stock in that company. But
And with the second success on that, there's not a readout for this one, but you do find a list of their latest annual stockholder report. It's got a list of their major stockholders and the various administration critical personnel that have invested in the company. Um, they're just names right now, but as you have people that you're looking into, you have this list now to compare them against, so you can see if anybody is related to that.
Could you post
wow,
that list for us when you get a chance?
There's not actually a handout
Oh,
for this, but if
okay.
I'm just letting you know that you have it.
No,
So that's
okay,
something you could
gotcha.
use to compare people to.
Sorry. Okay.
so if they're able to bypass the normal chemical processes of an animal and keep it alive or reanimate it after it's passed away or gone into a coma, wow, this could be the drug to end all drugs. No more dying on the operating table. Like, just bring it back. That's crazy.
it is crazy.
That's
The
raw.
Well, I don't know that it's wrong. I mean, we do it now anyway, but we do it with a pair of paddles and an electroshock. Uh, in this case, it just give you a shot of something. It still probably needs a million miles of testing. Obviously,
I mean,
they've moved on to animal trials.
I'm all for if like someone has like Parkinson's or like MS, that they need something like this to get them back, to normal. But once you're dead, you should stay dead. I think at least with my time in the program, I have learned that lesson.
Well, I mean, what is dead? I mean, once your brain stops working, then you're dead, your brain's dead. But
I'm watching you, Doc. I'm watching you.
I just think that it's interesting and gross as hell. I mean, body parts, ew. But then again, maybe you're in an accident, your arm gets cut off, and they can keep your arm alive until they reattach it to you. I don't know. It seems like there's going to be a lot of testing before this can work. Because
Looks like
what
this is a
happened?
test.
Yeah, or maybe they're sending it here he calls it an abomination. I don't know. It depends.
Someone clearly doesn't like what they're doing.
The body's, after all, just sort of a complicated machine if you can learn how to work it. But then again, who wants to live forever?
some people probably do.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't. The ones that want to.
Maybe this
I
is
don't
why
know.
maybe this is why Queen Elizabeth won't die.
We don't know what the
Yeah, she's
long-term
still.
effects of this stuff is on the animal, on a human.
It seems like I have maybe read some attempts to do this in the past, uh, in some rather obscure places. I mean, Dr. Frankenstein tried it.
And Agent Malarity, you said you wanted to run some initial testing here in the hotel room,
Yeah,
right?
yes, I
Go ahead
would.
and make another science chemistry roll for me.
30 out of, what is my
A
chemistry?
good pass, 70, I think,
Chemistry
right?
is 70.
Okay,
So,
easy pass, yeah.
pass.
All right, so you have a small microscope, something like that. Nothing crazy, but enough that you can, take a little sample of some of the things, a piece of the dog's flesh, a piece of drippings of this chemical, and just give them initial lookovers to see if anything jumps out at you. Um, I'll say you can definitely, it seems pretty obvious just looking at this, the blue liquid, that it's definitely some kind of artificial compound. You can tell just by looking at the basic structure of it. This is not something that's naturally occurring. You need to look more at it to try and glean any specific
Well,
information about it. And from the dog itself, the cells are in some kind of stasis. The cells are not replicating, repairing themselves, taking in nutrients or excreting any waste, but they're not dying either. They're just kind of stuck.
Now that's very interesting. See, the animal seems to be almost in a state in between life and death. The bodily processes are not actually functioning. Cells aren't dividing. They're not really respirating or consuming energy. I don't get what's keeping it alive except the chemical itself. So it might be something that wears off, keep it alive for a little while, but Jesus, how long has this thing been in the box?
Right. It's the circular system's not going around. I mean, was it just
No.
soaking in it? I mean, was it injected and now it's just kind of, how does that
Yeah.
work?
It seems like this compound is saturated the animal's flesh, so it was just kind of slowly leaking out of the wounds in the animal. It wasn't like submerged in it or anything. And
So
I mean,
really,
it's not
it's hard to
connected
tell,
to
but
obviously any of the organs it would need to be alive. It doesn't seem it's not connected to the lungs, but it does not seem to be breathing. Like you said, there's no heart, so nothing is circulating. It has part of a brain, but some of it was shot out by one of the postal inspectors that didn't really seem to phase it.
so
Is the
it's animated or reanimated. It's not actually
Alive.
revitalized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a part of it that's like the brain that got blown out. If we have some samples of that shows the same properties.
It seems to be permeating through the entire thing. You see here, look, come here. Look at the cell. See, you can see the components of the cell, the mitochondria, but the mitochondria is not taking in any kind of food, or it's very surprising. I mean, how does the animal actually move?
Yeah.
There's no. It's almost as if it's as if it's been dipped in some sort of blue energy that's keeping it animated. I'm not sure this animal is alive.
Yeah, you can't really tell if its brain is working. You would need to do some kind of EKG or a CAT scan on it to see if it actually has brain activity or not. But
I suppose one of you men could shoot somebody and we could try to bring them back and see if they can actually talk or think.
That would be something.
Is this substance coming out of its mouth, Doc?
No, it's not like drooling it out or anything.
No, but it's here in the severed part. You can see the flesh itself. It's almost like it's coating everything.
Yeah. It's inside of it.
In its system.
How the hell would something like this get? You just don't put a person or a dog into a chemical bath and it coats its insides.
I think you do it the same way you do like in a mortuary when they take the blood out and they put in the formaldehyde. They've pumped it into
through the whole circulatory system,
but they've had to do it manually. It didn't the heart. Obviously, there's no heart, and it's kind of sticky, so I guess it stays there. It's just a residue. But I'm convinced that it should wear off eventually. Whatever energy is powering it is going to run out, and then it's going to die. It's got to. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's got to die, right?
Surely.
Can you burn it?
You haven't tried.
I'm sure everything will burn.
No, I mean, I'm sure it'll burn. I'm just asking, will it help? Because I know I'm not the only one thinking zombie apocalypse here. I can't be the only guy.
Yeah. Well, let's try it. Let's see what this is going to smell like. I guess the sulfides are going to make it stink like hell. But
I will take the fire alarm off the wall.
You're just in your hotel room.
Yeah, just the ones that just screw off. I'm gonna just take that off and stuff that into a bag.
All right, let's I got my Bunsen burner here. We'll take a little piece of the flesh in a pair of tweezers and
Okay, that is there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
that is slightly more
Hold-
reasonable. I thought you were just
hold
gonna
it up
like
to the.
throw it in the wastebasket.
I wasn't
Not,
sure.
yeah, not burning the head.
No, like really, just in the hotel room? Okay.
This is our trophy. Could you imagine hunters? They could keep their trophies alive on the wall, barking at them, or whatever deer do. Yeah, so
Bit
we'll try
worse than
burning
that.
some of it.
But yeah, okay, yeah, that is actually a reasonable experiment. Yeah, if you just take a little, you're able to little scalpel and forceps cut a little piece of flesh off of the neck of the dog. Oh, and I'll mention too, since you examined it, you're pretty sure that it was decapitated with a bone saw or something like that. Its head was not like ripped off or anything. It looks like it was cut off pretty
Was
deliberately.
cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
very
you light up a Bunsen burner and take the little blue tinged flesh to it, and yeah, it sizzles and smokes, and you know,
Is there
carbon
anything I can
dioxide.
tell from the color of the flame, from the smell of the smoke, what chemicals might be involved? Like sulfur based.
Doesn't smell sulfurous. Yeah, there's nothing really about the smell or anything that's tipping you off.
Huh. Wow. Oh.
But it does burn as you would expect.
Well, that's disappointing. I was hoping for a little bit of revelation, but we'll have to do more chemical analysis once we get the lab set up at Berkeley.
All right.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. Can we order pizza or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to just have some dinner and skip to the evening?
Oh yeah.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to look into?
Uh, actually,
I
running.
am going to run out for 10 minutes and see if I could find a store that's got a squeaky toy. I want to see if the dog reacts to a squeaky toy. That
Could
might
I?
indicate that its brain is still.
Are there any known associates with records of Fiona?
They're just they're not really like criminally, no. There are other people who work for the magazine who have criminal records as well. But she doesn't have like a gang or anything like that, no.
They're not going down the street snapping fingers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Oh,
just
they're
gonna run out and get
environmental.
some beer for the pizza that's coming, and maybe a couple of things of lighter fluid.
Pick up a copy of the magazine while you're out.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Grab
Yeah.
a magazine.
Yeah, it is a professionally produced magazine. The most recent one is 32 pages. It's mostly West Coast issues, but it's got some reports on environmental topics from around the world on it. There's a big cover story on whale hunting that's being undertaken by indigenous tribes in Washington State, and they're being intercepted and opposed by Sea Shepherd activists. It seems pretty on the level as far as those things go from, fairly radical, environmental activists. Nothing about attempting to reanimate the dead or anything like that in it.
Kind of beer you get.
But what kind? So, how many pizzas are we getting?
Well, there's only 4 of us. 2 pizzas should be sufficient.
Yeah, well, we
I would
might not
think.
have time to have breakfast in the morning.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're a big fellow. You can eat half a pizza. I need maybe a quarter of pizza and then quarter tomorrow for breakfast.
I can, and I will add extra. I'll chip in extra money not to be that guy.
All right.
I mean, you could get chicken wings with it.
You said, I'm sorry.
I said you can get chicken wings with your pizza.
Well, ranch or blue cheese.
Oh, well, I don't want chicken wings. I'll just eat half a pizza, but I'll eat a quarter of it. I'll eat 2 or 3 pieces, and that's about it. And same for breakfast.
Excuse
Meanwhile, we're gonna have to sleep with that thing in the room.
me.
Oh shit!
Well, no, maybe we can take
Yeah,
it to the
cooler.
lab. Maybe we can leave it at the lab.
Yeah. I don't know if we should leave it behind anywhere.
We got to be careful of who we trust with this information
Exactly.
too.
I'll tell you what, doctor. I trust you with it. I trust it with your life.
What? You're not a dog lover? Sweet little Frank.
I like dogs. I just prefer them to have at least 3 limbs.
3, I guess, is sufficient. Yeah.
I'm trying to be understanding for the handicapped dogs. Don't judge me.
I've seen the videos.
So sad.
That's why I got him a toy.
You got the head a toy?
I wanted to see actually if its neural functions were still intact, because if I squeak the toy, it's natural for dogs. When you squeak the toy, it sounds like a dying rabbit. And so they immediately go into attack, and they grab the toy and they squeak it, and they like that sound.
Doc,
we can tell if the dog's brain's still working.
Doctor, I respect your scientific ability, but I feel like I need to say this to you. That is a head.
Yeah. And it's
with
gross. I
detached
acknowledge that it was
jaw
quite gross. But you could still show him love and affection, And people think that scientists are cold and unfeeling.
Right?
I'm not trying to be cold. It's a head.
Yeah, it's not gonna do fetch really well.
Not much, no.
Well, you do it in the reverse. You throw the head, then you toss the ball to it. All right, so let's go talk to this woman.
Okay. I was going to say, if you do squeak a toy at it, it does. You can see its ears do prick up and everything. It does react to it. It can't bite it because its jaw is no longer intact, but it can't move. It doesn't have many parts left that it can move, but it definitely does react to it.
This is just remarkable. Did we want to go and see if we could look up this woman who this was sent to first, and then go to Berkeley, or sit up at Berkeley first and talk to
I can
Nadia.
go. I'll go speak to her. Does anyone want to come along? Doc, I think you would
I'll
be
go
perfect to come to.
Oh, you want me to come, but I belong in the lab.
I feel like you need some time away from the head.
I'm not really a people person, but
I'll roll with the doc. If you two want to go.
Okay.
Shake down Fiona.
all right, if that's what you want.
Because she starts talking science, I'm not going to understand what she says.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I understand.
All right, similarity and mailman. We're going to go check out Fiona, and Midnight and Mars are going to go to Berkeley, the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive the doc around.
All right. Are you bringing the whole head with you?
No, I think they should take the head to the lab.
Yeah, you're taking the head.
Why am
going
I
to
taking
lab.
the head to the woman's house that ordered the head?
Wait a minute. I'm confused. I thought we were going to the lab. They're going to Fiona.
Same.
No, I want to see if she knows about the head without the head being in the room. I think you guys should take the head. Me and the doc will just go talk to her.
Okay.
Oh, we're taking it to the lab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it, but we
Neither
can
do I.
take it to the lab. Hopefully the friendly can do some stuff with it, but
Well, I'd rather they not touch that head. I want to touch my head now. I've grown very attached to that poor sweet dog. Uh, but apparently Ancient Mailman needs me to go with him. So
we'll take good
I
care
mean,
of this thing.
I can go alone. If she talks science stuff, I'll just write it down and someone else can come with. That way you can spend more time with the head.
why don't you go get her and bring her to the lab?
Okay.
And we can interrogate her at the lab.
Wait a minute. No, we shouldn't be bringing this journalist anywhere near the head. I mean,
Yeah, we got to keep
don't
stuff
want.
quiet. I
Yeah,
will I will interrogate. I'll talk to her. Whatever I find out, I'll bring back to you guys, and then Doc, that'll give you more than ample time with an actual adequate laboratory to do what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't think she's a scientist anyway. Isn't she a journalist?
Yeah, she's a
Oh,
journalist.
okay. I'm sorry, I got confused. Okay, yeah, I'll just go talk to her then.
Now I'm going to the lab. All right.
Sorry.
our original plan, Mars. Why don't you go with Mailman, and I'll go with Molarity.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Split us down the middle.
I love how willing Delta Green players are to split the party.
All the time.
Because we never learn, no matter how many times we play this game.
What could possibly go wrong at insert name of location? All right, so let's start with Mailman and Mars. Are you guys going to the address that was on the package?
As good a place as any to start. So yeah, we'll try there
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
So
Well,
are we gonna use our actual credentials or are we gonna pretend to be someone else?
good question.
Hmm. That's a good question.
Were you guys going in the evening? Because the school was not open for you guys to use that lab until 8 p.m. So was this happening before that or simultaneously?
I would say we would leave before because you don't want anyone just showing up on your doorstep at night. So we would leave before, and I guess you could go to the lab a little after, and we'll just meet them there afterwards.
Okay. All right. But yeah, did you have fake credentials you wanted to use? You just want to use your real ones?
I mean, we can maybe if we use our real ones, that'll let her know this is serious.
Good. Could be.
Or
I'm not-
your names could show up in the next edition.
We can use fake names,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. What's your fake name gonna be, Mars?
Um, David Cronsby.
I like it. Perfect amount of syllables. I'll go with like Ted Richardson. I look like a Ted, right? I could pass for a Ted.
Yeah. You could pass for Ted. Yeah.
All right.
Solid Ted. 10 out of 10. All right, so the two of you drive down to the address. It's not far. It's like 4 blocks off of the University of California campus here in Berkeley. So it takes you like barely 15, 20 minutes to get there. You find this is the offices of the Ecotopian magazine itself. There's a second floor above a health food restaurant named Eagle Roost and a espresso bar bookstore named Baylight Books. Crowd is pretty much exclusively younger people, college students, of course. You guys probably stick out like sore thumbs if you're dressed like federal agents or what you guys make? You guys just make your way upstairs to the office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's a pretty cluttered. It's a not an overly large building. The cluttered interiors got lit mostly by big windows. It's just one big open floor plan. There's filing cabinets and a half dozen different desks piled with computers and paperwork and people on phones and typing away on the computers and stuff. There's a small desk near the doorway that lets into it, a reception desk. There's a bespectacled young man sitting at it. He kind of looks up, kind of half interested at you guys, and kind of screws up his face a little bit, seeing you walk in. And he says, "Hi there. Can I help you?"
Hi. We are looking for a Fi Fiona. Is she available?
He just kind of just like scratches his face and says, "I don't think she's in today."
Hmm. Does she have a phone number we could reach her at?
He says, "You got a message? I could take it down for you."
We do, in all honesty, but this is more of a message that we want to deliver in person. It's really important.
He says, "Okay, let me see what I can do." And he just gets up and walks back into the office to a woman sitting at a desk there and talks to her before coming back over. He's like, "Yeah, she'll see you."
Thank you much.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's plainly in sight. You're able to walk over to her desk. It's a, young Asian woman in her probably mid-20s. And you can kind of see the attitude the receptionist gave you is kind of mirrored in everybody in the office. Everybody's kind of eyeing you suspiciously. Um, it occurs to you that federal agents are probably not high on these people's most wanted list.
No, I figured that. Uh, so I'll just say so Fiona, I presume.
She looks up from her desk and just just kind
No.
of a passive expression. She says, yeah, that's me. What brings you fine folks here today?"
All right. So Special Agent Richardson with the FBI.
You don't say.
I'm
Mr. Badge? You guys got badges?
Well, I'll
Uh,
flash her the badge.
yes.
Okay.
So
Go on.
we wanted to talk to you about a few things. Um, we know you've had some trouble in the past, and our concern is perhaps that trouble may be following you. Um, are you familiar with a Thomas Ironshirt? Does that name ring a bell?
He just kind of shrugs his shoulders, says, no, no, can't say it does.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, and does she seem like she's lying? Because she seems like she just doesn't like me, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
you definitely get that impression that she definitely says she's not hiding the fact that she does not like you. You don't need to make a roll for that.
But is she at least being truthful?
You roll human intelligence for me.
19 pass.
Okay. Yeah, you get the impression that she's not lying because she seems pretty interested in what you're talking about. She's definitely watching you closely. She's interested in what you're saying.
Hmm.
So she already knew what you were, talking about, she probably wouldn't be as focused on it. So that alone gives you the impression that she doesn't know what you're talking about. She definitely wants to, though.
Okay. Were you expecting any packages recently?
'Cause, no, didn't order anything.
Do you does your focus does your magazines focus more on the West Coast, or do you also do investigations into the Midwest and East Coast of the United States?
This is we focus around this area since this is where we're based out of, but we travel when we need to.
Oh.
One of the other random people sitting at a nearby desk goes, "You guys have a warrant?"
We asked to come in and you allowed us to come into the building, sir. We don't need a warrant anymore. And we're also not searching for anything, so we don't need a search warrant. And if you're going to ask me questions, I'm going to give you answers. I'm sorry.
Kind of narrows his eyes at you.
You're doing that because you know I'm right. Um, so we're concerned. Did you make any enemies back when you were doing what you were doing? Any of these companies, like even after all this time, might want to do you harm?
Because I've pissed off plenty of people.
No, I mean, that's fine. I mean, we all have to do what we got to do, but these people, they seem to have wanted to give you a gift you probably wouldn't have wanted, and it was coming through the mail. Yeah. Maybe if you can put the lines together, do you have do you know any company that might want to do that to you?
So they sent me something in the mail,
Yeah.
and you opened my mail.
Well, what they sent to you was illegal.
Uh-huh. And what was that?
Uh, well, not to make you nervous, but a piece of ordnance.
Interesting.
Again, this is not against you. Someone was sending this to you. And they were even polite enough to next day it. But I
Yeah.
just know, is there anyone you know that would want to hurt you?
I want you to roll a mailman. I want you to roll a persuade for me, and she's going to try and contest that with human intelligence.
Okay.
For your story.
Ooh. That's just a normal pass.
All right. All right. It doesn't look like yeah, it looks like she buys it, or at least she's pretending to.
So I'm trying to make this easy. I know you don't like me. I just need information. I just need to know names or names of companies that could be doing this.
She says, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't get a pipe bomb in the mail or anything like that. Yeah, she'll rattle off the name of a couple of companies they've been investigating, protesting, and things like that. It's nothing affiliated with ABC or anything that you know about already. It doesn't seem like there's been any kind of communication going on with her thus far. It looks like this was this person reaching out to her. She doesn't seem to know anything more about it.
Hmm. Just trying to think anything else I could ask I'm missing. You think of anything else?
I'm trying to think of some questions to ask her. Is there any Which, if you don't mind my asking, which companies are you currently investigating? You haven't published any stories on them yet, but you're currently investigating them.
There's nothing especially interesting right now. We're looking into whaling at the moment.
Okay. Have you ever done any investigation into like animal abuse by companies, testing on animals, things like that?
Yeah, of course. I'm sure you guys know my record. We've done plenty of protests,
Yeah.
liberation of animals.
And that's why we're here. So you would have to move a little bit differently now, especially with the record that you have. Do you have people that feed you stories from other places in the US, like the Midwest, some place like that? Any former
Yeah,
colleague that you fell out with?
no, I'm not familiar with any of my old colleagues out in the Midwest. It's the second time you've mentioned that now. But why do you think somebody in the Midwest is sending me a pipe bomb?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And that's also why your mail was open, because pipe bombs are illegal.
So I've been told.
Okay. Clearly, you've irritated a number of individuals and companies around the United States. And, I understand that you're not exactly happy with our presence here, but it is our job to protect you.
Well, you're doing a great job. What else can I say?
Hmm. I'm out of ideas. I don't know what else to ask. Uh, Without telling her something that's going to send her there and get herself killed.
Yeah, I don't want
That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you are talking to a journalist, which is normally like the opposite of what you want to be doing as a Delta Green agent. So that might just be a good place to call it if you can't think of any other questions you want to ask her.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
she's definitely all ears at this point. So yeah.
well, ma'am, we thank you for your time. Um, if you do think of anything, if you could contact the local FBI office in Los Angeles, we would really appreciate it.
I'll certainly do that. Bye.
Yep. I'm gonna walk out.
Okay.
That was
I'll follow.
Do you so when we walk out, like I'll just look at you, Mars. Do you think we should just take her with us? Isn't that what the others wanted? Like we
Yeah, they did want us to bring her there, but it's like, do we really, how much involvement do we want her? How involved do we want her in this? She can go both ways. She can be extremely helpful, but she could also get in our way and cause a lot of problems as well.
I know.
And we might have to tie that loose end up at the end if she knows too much.
Yeah.
I just get
I mean, whoever sent this to her, that was their intention because there was that letter in the package and it literally
yeah.
said, like, I know that you will expose this perversion of science and nature. So it seems like whoever sent this is not in agreement with whatever they're doing there, and they thought that Fiona would share that sentiment. Which, given that she doesn't like animal testing to begin with, yeah, it's probably a safe bet she wouldn't like whatever the fuck this is.
But is she going to become more helpful?
Hard to say. I don't know.
let's call the others and see what they think.
Okay.
Okay, phone a friend.
So I'll call the doctor. Um,
Frank Slab, what can we do for you?
Malarity, is midnight with you?
Oh yeah, he's here. What's up?
So this lady doesn't know shit, and
Uh,
basically I think the guy was sending this to her because they knew she was going to expose it. So do we really want to get her involved with this? Because I could give her a couple of breadcrumbs and get her to come along, or
yeah, no, probably not. We don't want this exposed. That's exact opposite of Delta Green. We want to hush this up.
all right, then we'll leave her out, or we'll be on our way then.
Unless at some point in the future that we want to blow the lid off the whole thing, but I don't know. That's not yet.
I doubt that. I doubt that's what Drake wants us to do.
Yeah, at least not at this point. All right, hurry home. Frank's waiting for you.
All right, so we'll start making, or I'll tell him what I'll tell Mars what he said, and we'll just start making our way back then.
Okay. All right,
Makes sense.
1 second, guys.
Well, midnight. Apparently, they had a hard time.
What the hell they want?
I don't know. I thought she was going to have some scientific background, but I guess she's just a journalist. Just going to use her as a tool to blow the lid off something that the fellow on the Indian reservation wanted to, people
Yeah,
to be outraged and storm the building.
exactly. I mean, that's why he sent this package to her and the note. I mean, it's good that maybe she didn't know anything about it. That was the big question is, did she, have they had conversations back and forth? She may have known more than maybe letting on. But if they seem to think that this would be the first time she's heard of this Thomas Iron shirt,
Hmm.
then she's ignorant and she
Yes.
should stay ignorant of it.
I think the mailman thinks that she had no idea what he was talking about. So that's cool. Then one less person
Perfect.
we have to worry about.
Yeah, I don't want to be killing any civilians that
That's why you guys
tying
have
up loose ends.
like
So
post office.
So let's get some of these tests done. Now, do I have I have a contact at the Berkeley, right? Now,
Yeah, Dr. Fulani is a Middle Eastern woman, a
Dr.
friendly
Nadia.
program.
Dr. Nadia. And did you say she's a friendly?
Yes.
So she knows a little bit.
Hmm.
when we walk in with this green, cooler, then know something's up.
Yeah, she's a middle-aged Middle Eastern woman, done,
Should
dressed
we
quite nicely. She's a professor here at UCLA.
going in before we actually meet her, just asking Moriarty, Molarity.
Yes, I'm not the mastermind.
How much you want to involve this friendly into this?
Let's see what
Does
she
she need her?
already knows.
She doesn't know anything unless we tell her.
No, but I mean, what her
What
speciality?
her specialty is, yeah.
If it's biology and stuff, then we've got somebody we might be able to work with, but we'll have to make up a good excuse to keep her on so that she, doesn't start a nationwide panic or anything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Whether she's useful.
All right.
We wouldn't want Agent Mailman to have to eliminate her like he did that other person from the last time. All right, let's carry this in here. Dr. Filani. Hello. We're here to set up the lab.
Gentlemen, it's been some time since I've had visitors. There's yeah, it's just as long as you're out by 4 a.m., you can have the run of the place. Do you need
Excellent.
my assistance with anything?
Well, what's your specialty? What's your science?
He says, I'm a professor of anthropology here at UCLA. I'm studied in biology as well. I can help you if you have tests you need to run, anything like that.
Well, we've got something rather unusual, as you might have expected.
Of course.
Why don't you come with us into the lab? Maybe you can assist. I mean, you don't have family. Do you have anybody you need to go home to? You could do that. We could take care of this ourselves.
She says,
Yeah.
no, I can stay late as well if you need me
All
to.
right, Doc. Yeah, I warn you, you may not want to see this, but
So we're investigating something rather unusual here. We're not quite sure what it is, but it seems that somebody has come up with a compound that, when introduced into a living creature, it puts it into a kind of a quasi state where it's not quite alive and it's not quite dead. We're thinking it's medical research to preserve body parts so they can be reattached. In any case, it's been shipped illegally, and we're trying to track down where it came from. But you've got to understand, if we show this to you, you have to keep this completely confidential.
He says, I've been working with the program for many years now. I understand the procedures.
all right. All right. So
this here is Frank.
his zombie dog, or at least part of it.
Now he does seem to be responding to the toy, but unfortunately he's not quite up to fetching the toy. So don't throw the toy. He can't retrieve it.
It's just cruel.
She definitely gasped softly. She passed her sanity check, so she's
All
cool.
right.
Now I've already done some very interesting things. We'll show you some stuff through the microscope here, but we need a good chemical analysis of what this substance is, where it's come from. See what we can make out. We think this originates someplace in Montana.
Interesting. She says, all right. She says, let's get started then. We can analyze some of this and run some more tests on this poor creature.
All right. I'm just running out to get some coffee for everyone. It's gonna be a long night. There's nothing really I can do.
Yeah. We'll do a complete battery of tests.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so you guys pretty much do that then. Malarity and the doctor subject the thing to pretty much everything they can think of, to find out as much as they can about it. It definitely this chemical it was not completely, they didn't like drain it of blood and pump it full of the chemical, but it has kind of suffused its body as if it was like exposed to it in some way. And maybe if it swallowed it or breathed it in or something like that, and the chemical just spread throughout its body. It was probably exposed to a large quantity of it.
And it just seems to be some sort of compound. It's not like an organism.
No, it's definitely not biological in nature. Dr. Filani is able to get a partial formula of it. Some of the material in it is not anything recognizable.
What is this molecule here? I can't.
Yeah, it's nothing that you've seen before, but some of the elements in it are definitely identifiable. There's characteristics of adrenaline in it, cerebral, like spinal fluid, and different neural transmitters in it. So it's it's definitely artificial, but it's been made for this purpose. This wasn't like accidental.
Right.
Whatever this is, it was designed to do what it's doing. This is not incidental.
This must represent years of work by somebody. But
And
I don't know anyone in the field who's been working on this sort of subject.
yeah, that would definitely be something else you could look into. You also you do run some. She does run a CAT scan on the head as well, and it is its brain is working. What's left of it, there are neural synapses firing, which doesn't make any sense, but nothing else about it does either. So
Right. It does seem incredibly cruel.
yeah, it's not breathing. It doesn't have lungs, obviously, but yeah, it's not breathing. It can move and it responds to stimulus, but it doesn't seem to need anything.
It's completely bizarre. It's going to take us months to figure out how this is actually causing the muscles to move. And
Yeah, some of it like it does like even like that doesn't make sense because like there are bits of it that are blown apart by like the gunfire. And so like there are just like some like ragged strands of muscle that are still like flapping.
pushing.
Yeah, like just purely on a mechanical level, it doesn't make sense that they can move.
If we separate bits of it out, like just individual cells, they continue to live, even though they're not receiving any kind of nutrient or food or.
Yeah, they don't see. Yeah, if you the samples you have of it, if you can keep them under a microscope for the night and see if they change, but you don't notice any decay in them, even if you separate small pieces off of it.
So I suppose after a while we've been working on this. We know that fire will destroy it. Um, but let's try various other reagents and see if they cause the tissue to break down all of a sudden, eliminate the chemical, whatever it's doing. I.e., find a way to kill a zombie apocalypse.
Hmm. Yeah, so you don't have a ton of time. You are able to test some things out. You don't find anything like a silver bullet. It also doesn't seem to be, even though it can move in spite of all mechanical and biological logic, it still seems to respond to things as you would expect it to. It's like you already determined that you can burn it with fire. You know, you cut off a piece of it and expose it to an acid, and that will break it down as well. It doesn't seem to be have any kind of enhanced durability or anything like that. The pieces of it are not regenerating or anything like that. It's just it's stuck in this stasis between life and death.
So the final thing I'd like to do is see if there's a way I can use part of the dog to extract the liquid itself from the tissue. Whether we have to squeeze it or pulverize it or I mean, I don't want to do the whole dog, but a portion of its flesh.
Yeah, you could
To see if
definitely
we
cut.
can
Yeah, you
get.
could definitely cut off a piece of it and separate it in a centrifuge or something. Separate the gristly bits from the liquids.
Okay.
It's not going to be a completely pure sample of this chemical, obviously, but you can reduce it down as much as you can.
Okay. So we end up with what kind of a blue goo.
Yeah, just kind of an oily blue, little guy, little ampule of it.
So then we'll clean up. Um, I'm going to need to take the head back
Of
to
course.
the hotel room, but have her get some sleep, and maybe we'll concur tomorrow evening at 8.
All right.
And
So we're rolling
she
from,
has my contact number for the hotel
okay.
and at hers.
Rolling from Sunday to Monday.
I'll probably eat my second quarter of a pizza before I go to bed.
As you do.
Sleep in.
All right. All right. Was there any, so I don't know if there were any other tests you wanted to do or any other research you wanted to do?
Just planning a road trip to Montana.
Yeah, that is where this leads.
So yeah, just planning what supplies, what the route that we should take, and getting ready.
I think it's a cool, I did this last time, but I think it's a
So-
cool, like 12-hour drive from Berkeley to Browning. Berkeley.
Before we leave, let's sit here and assess what we think is happening so
Like
far.
19.
I think that this bio company in Montana has developed some sort of this chemical, and it literally keeps dead things in a quasi-living state. I don't know yet whether it can be reversed. In other words, if it's been introduced into an animal, can you then reverse it and bring the animal back to life, or is it stuck in this state permanently? Would reduce the usefulness of the chemical, but except for experimentation. It seems then that your Mr. Iron Feather, or whatever his name was, he broke into the lab, would you say, and stole the animal, and then sent the head to Miss Fiona in order to blow the lid off this biological abomination. But it's fortunate that we've intercepted it.
Yeah, the dog may have been in parts in the lab, but I'm still trying to wrap myself. Are we even capable of coming up with some kind of? Do we even have the science?
Well, I mean,
develop
science
this?
is science. Science is constantly moving forward. So obviously somebody's done it. So it's we've done the science.
Did somebody do it, or something else do this?
We have absolutely no reason to include the
We're
concept of aliens involved. So nobody's seeing any flying saucers at this point. We're only
we've
seeing
seen some weird shit with Delta Green.
Oh, well, that's true. But in this case, it seems to be coming from a bio lab. There's definitely some compounds here that I cannot identify, which is unusual in and of itself. They're very complex hydrocarbons and things
So
like that.
Are these compounds alien?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I always imagined that if something was alien, it wouldn't even have DNA. I mean, why would it? Its chemical composition would be completely alien to the human race or to life on Earth. This is obviously interacting with life on Earth. So it'd have to be something developed out of life on Earth. Of course, it could still be aliens coming, but until we get any evidence that aliens are involved at all, I mean, isn't that really more of a what were they called? The Majestic 12 people, Men in Black,
playing around with things that shouldn't be toyed with.
I don't know. let's assume at this point that it's chemical and that it's just some discovery.
Yeah, there's really no way to tell, unfortunately, if it was something
Right.
like alien or if it's just something that does not naturally occur on Earth.
It was just something that he can't identify right now. That
Well,
from our normal
yeah.
test is not producing something that
Mhm.
Let's
okay.
put it this way. There's still a fairly decent chance that some scientists have just had some sort of breakthrough in a lab somewhere.
People discover new chemicals sometimes.
Yeah, in which case Delta Green really shouldn't be involved at all. But
Mhm.
uh, if there is some sort of extra dimensional aspect to this, or somebody's using old-fashioned witchcraft, then or what is it, illegal geometry, metaphysical geometry, well, then we're involved.
Well, I think we're involved and we have to decide. That's why I was asking about the science.
We don't
Are
have
we
enough.
even
We don't
capable
have.
of,
Well, we don't have enough information yet.
right? I mean, we roll in here. What are we going off of?
Well, we're
I mean,
still investigating. We haven't finished our investigation. We got to get to Montana and see what this lab looks like. Maybe they'll
So-
give us a tour.
so this company has enough money that they can skirt past certain regulations with some of their dealings.
Now, everybody does that.
Right, but we know that they're on to something that causes these effects. We know that this Thomas Ironshirt either got into their facility or one of their subjects got out and he was able to cut its head off. Now, the fact that it wasn't ripped off and it was like a bone saw, it feels like that was probably done in like a controlled environment at some point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well,
So
yeah.
so there's
So
something we need to investigate. This is not normal.
Yeah, I was gonna add in that like as far as like is this something human science can do? I think you can pretty safely say no.
That's
Yeah, this
that's what I
this is
was thinking.
unnatural.
Yeah.
That's not a question. Um, things cannot live without their vital organs attached to them. You may not know exactly the origin of this compound, whether it is extraterrestrial or hypergeometric in nature, but yeah, what the fact that it is unnatural is
It's
indisputable.
unnatural. Yeah. And yeah, we just need to know what they're playing with and pretty much how to destroy it. So
I was going to say, there is still research you can do if you want to try and look into more about amalgamated biocarb, or specifically their facility in Montana. You can try and find more information about that while people are renting cars and such. If you wanted to make some more rolls, we have a little bit of time left.
yeah, I mean, whatever that we can dig up on the place we're going. Yeah.
yeah, let me work on that, because I've got colleagues in various fields that I should be able to, if you ever heard of amalgamated biocarb, you have any connections to amalgamated biocarb? What
Okay.
kind of stuff are they working on?
So anybody who wants to do some more research, you can go ahead and make a roll for me. Intelligence, computer science. If you have any other ideas, I'm always open for alternative skills. If you want to roll them, just decide if you're rolling for the company itself or their Montana facility.
I'll roll for their
I'm not sure if
facility.
accounting, if there's enough information to know if I could trace any with a decent accounting role.
Find out where
Who
the
are the
money's coming
major
from.
backers? Yeah. What's,
That might actually be relevant.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
yeah, I have a
Uh,
60 in accounting, so
So I got a 38 out of 50 on my signal intelligence, looking up information on the internet. And
All right, so that's one success for ABC, one success for the Montana facility. What about Mailman and Mars? You guys gonna do any research?
Uh, I'll look into like EPA records of the Montana facility.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do like more of like a legal angle for the Montana facility. And
Okay. All right, you guys go ahead and
That's
roll,
a
go ahead and make some rolls for me then. Law or
that's a pass
bureaucracy?
with the EPA.
Pass.
yeah,
Okay.
I got to pass as well.
Okay. All right, good deal then. All right, so let's go post some more stuff. So all right. So for Agent Molarity, you look a little bit further into ABC itself. We've got a third success here.
yeah, well, let's see. We've got at the eSafe online brokerage investor website. One of the biotech analysts posted the following update 2 months ago. Amalgamated Biocarb Inc., NASDAQ AMAL, is running low on capital due to the high burn rate typical of the emerging biotech sector. The CEO, Dr. Leslie de Havilland, has been pouring money into research and development, but has yet to bring a product to market. ABC's contracts for small-scale pharmaceutical production have helped, but investors have seen a lot of biotech companies come and go, and few have lived up to their potential. ABC may be just another flame out waiting to happen. If the FDA
You good?
if the FDA denies the coma drug or it flounders in the marketplace, Dr. de Havilland may be out of a job. Rumors of infighting on the board of directors have further destabilized the stock price, and several large companies have made quiet noises about a hostile takeover. ABC is allegedly looking for a white knight to invest in the company in order to stave off such a takeover. Yeah, good luck to them.
So they are desperate for money.
They are desperate for money, which is never good.
No, not uncommon in the field, but never good, especially when you've got stuff like this involved.
Maybe they
Uh,
found that white knight, or well, maybe they found a black knight, and they're giving them the money they need, but they have to do certain research and cut certain corners.
Well,
Maybe
that's
so.
just it. Yeah, they'll put something on the market that hasn't been fully tested yet. That's dangerous.
My concern is they're not testing for the market anymore, depending on who's paying.
mhm.
Well, I just want to make it clear that it's not the scientists that are at fault. It's the company management that's at fault. The scientists are
No,
just doing their job, and
I agree, but the fact is the fact they might have a malevolent benefactor.
oh, well, that's always the case. Yeah, in that case, yeah, we might look into yeah, that might be a good to check and see their finances and where the money's coming from. If we get a click on one of those kind of companies.
All right. And then for the Montana facility itself, we get a couple things. Here's part one of that.
In 1964, the tribal council applied to the federal government for permission to set their own air quality standards. This right was granted by an act of Congress because the poverty of the area was so great that the only kind of power plant the reservation could afford was a coal burning plant without scrubbers to filter the emissions. In the early 1970s, internal pressure within the Blackfoot tribe due to health and environmental concerns over the Blackfoot power plant's emissions caused the tribal council to invest and technologies that would bring the plant up to current EPA standards. However, the act granting the tribe autonomy and setting their emissions controls was never repealed. 20 years later, in 1996, ABC opened their Blackfoot production facility just 20 miles north of Browning, the capital of the reservation. The facility is effectively outside the jurisdiction and oversight powers of OSHA and EPA. However, the Blackfoot Tribal Council's Environmental Protection Board has set health and safety standards of their own, which are strictly enforced. So we have absolutely no power here, even as federal agents. It's tribal land.
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, to be
much the
perfectly
same
honest, that's never stopped us before.
Yeah, there is that. But
It's
yeah,
just going to be hard on the cover story. I mean,
Yes,
we
very
still
hard.
figure out the cover story rolling in. We're not just going to let us walk through these facilities and
yeah, much the same reason that people send their companies to different foreign countries for various reasons. You imagine that the facility being built on tribal land was not a coincidence.
well, I think that
I'm
Thomas.
surprised they allowed it.
Well,
I think
there's the
this-
money aspect of it again.
Well, I think we hit this Thomas Iron Shirt, and that's our way in. He's already been exposed to whatever is going on. Might be our friendly contact, or at least our contact there.
Well, he's not going to be very friendly to us as agents, but I mean, we need to talk to him. Tell him
If
to
we
get
go
off
in
this
as a eco terrorist group,
posing as Greenpeace, or
we can make one up or grab something off, or just say we're very concerned. We got the package, or whoever you send it, the person he was sending it to got the package, and we're here to help expose it.
All right, there's one more reading, and then you got three. So this is the second successful roll, and then the next one gives you a handout, which I will send as well. So I think this is the second one, I believe, was Agent Midnight, or one of you.
My rolls failed.
Oh, you failed. Okay.
I'll read this one.
Okay.
No one at EPA or OSHA knows for sure what's going on at ABC's Blackfoot facility, as on-site inspections are not permitted without prior approval of the Tribal Environmental Protection Board and ABC itself. The last EPA courtesy inspection took 2 months to approve. They didn't find any violations of EPA or OSHA standards. However, that inspection was in December of last year. The inspection for this year has not been scheduled yet, but will no doubt also meet with delays in approval.
of course, that way they can.
There's no question that they are using this to their advantage.
But there's supposed to be an inspection this year. So maybe we could leverage that to our advantage. But I think Mars, this is going to be on more yours. I don't.
Well,
It's
the
all
whole
legal
scheduling
stuff.
thing is to allow them to clean up their facility before they let anybody in.
Yeah, we have to find a way to not give them the time to tidy up before company comes.
Yeah, exactly. You give them another 2 months to clean the place up. You're not going to find anything.
You know, what if I'm not really much of an actor, but then again, I could be somebody in the background as an expert in chemical. And what if we posed as a possible investor, a white knight coming into on the spur of the moment, but we'd like to keep everything on the hush hush until the deal goes through.
Cool.
It's a good plan.
Pretend.
It might be smart for you to be that investor, Doc.
No. I don't know nothing about money or anything. I'm a scientist. but you'd be bringing me along in order to check or verify or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're our expert.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're the investors. Yeah.
Somebody with a financial background. I mean,
Yeah,
we got a little bit of time to make this shit up before we get there.
Got 12 hours, exactly.
I checked in Google Maps. It's more like 19.
Yeah, it's a long
Even
drive.
better.
You guys got time to work out to button down those details. And you do get a this isn't to read, but you do find a
Layout.
basic map of the facility as well. This is what they call it the Gemstone facility in Montana. So it's a fairly large setup, fairly well secured. It's encircled with fences. There's guards and dogs and things like that. But that's what it basically looks like. It's right on the Milk River. There's a train track. They have train tracks that go through it, where they're loading things up and shipping them off directly from the facility. So that's just one last thing you guys find.
So off to Montana we go.
I think so.
Lots of
Big
snakes.
sky country.
Yeah. We can arrive there next week.
Yeah.
Let's cut it there. I can drop this voice finally. Our players included Julian Arba, Thomas Grooms, Joseph Clay, and myself, with Robert Bocchiere as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for this show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.